So in this series, what I propose to do is tell you a bit about myself, my life, my passions, and what I do to enhance and ensure that I get the best out of my creativity as a practicing visual artist living in Barbados. I live next to the beach. I love the beach very much. All my life I grew up next to the beach, swimming as a child, you know, boogie boarding, surfing, and what we call hulling here in Barbados. And it has been a major influence on my life. I grew up next to fishing villages, the fishing villages of Half Moon Fort and Sixmans, and adjacent towns, Pikestown. And because of all of that, that would have enhanced and influenced my work. I initially started out at school at Queen's College and Corrigan Parry School, painting fishing boats and, you know, making that kind of sea life part of my visual art process. I like to use oils and watercolor and also acrylic, especially on canvas, to create my art. And I mainly like the art of painting, but I also am open to mixed media and sculpting as a process in my creative development as well. And from time to time I might just decide to incorporate all of those. I also like making film and, you know, music. I like to play the rhythm guitar. So I like to be three-dimensional as an artist and incorporate these various facets into my creative spirit. I mainly paint in two styles. You will see I paint in a more haptic style, imaginative, surreal style, where I try to incorporate Barbadian iconography and also retentions in terms of African and Haitian traditions. For example, the veves in terms of Haitian traditions, and in terms of the Adinkra symbolism. From time to time you will see me incorporate some of that into my work. I like to use the bird as a symbol of peace and hope, and just a nice quiet spirit that is always hovering around, always there present, observing things quietly, and also making the atmosphere harmonious with the various sounds they make each morning you wake up, and also that they are instruments to brighten our day. So they are also, to me, spiritual beings, the birds. I like to also incorporate local facets of our culture in terms of preserving the fretwork of the chattel house, but doing it in my own schema. And I like to incorporate the jealousies, the windmill as a tradition, because Barbados has some 510 windmills or so in its history as a sugarcane colony of the British. And I also like to show that these vestiges, like the Mobby women, the Coopers, all those facets are disappearing slowly from our modern day society, and young people are even becoming historically out of touch with them. So I try to bring them back and preserve them in the continuity of the art, like how African tradition would have been passed on verbally rather than written. So things like the milestone, the standpipe, from time to time you will see me doing that. And I also like to sharpen my skills by doing objective work in terms of studies from actual life, still lifes, or observation, like doing en plein air exercises, or using inspiration from an en plein air to do a studio piece, for example. So I just try to keep an open slate, and I also have a love for cultural studies and cultural theory as well. So from time to time you will see me here in this chapter looking at various concepts such as commodity fetishism and what a commodity is, and different aspects of cultural theory and art, like avant-garde and those kinds of things that I might like to discuss and open up a discussion with other persons in the world, other artists, other intellectuals who would, you know, develop a robust discourse that we all tend to learn from each other and feed into this cultural domain in terms of looking at the importance of heritage and culture for global people and the need to preserve our various aspects of tangible and intangible culture. So this is my introduction, and I hope that as we move on in this journey and this process, you would join with me, and students especially would tune in and have some feedback on the site, that I will share my creative process with you.